welcome back to the City Podcast, episode 81. City Podcast is an acronym for Can I Trust You? I don't think John is ever going to make it back, so we're taking it back. I'm going to be your host today. I'm Tony, and I'm here with...
Roman.
All right, and next to him...
Oh, wiggle, biggle, titty, tiggle.
And we do have a special guest today, the return of the Great White Hope. So, introduce yourself.
My name is Nathan.
So dry.
All that hype. It was just like,
Well, I mean, I don't know. It wasn't
Nate.
even hype. You were like the return of the Great White Hope.
Dude, I do fucking stutter my words.
It's not that. It's just that you're just like you don't believe what you're hyping up. You're like you have to fucking believe in yourself.
That's my hype voice.
That's hype. You're just you're just like prepare yourselves. Lock up your wives.
Get
bury
ready.
your daughters. Shoot your sons.
Tell me I have to work on my hypeness.
The great white hype.
I don't
Introduce
know.
yourself.
Like inside my head, I sound hype as fuck, but I guess it doesn't come out that way.
No, because
I would be a bad
You'd be a terrible hype man for it. But here's the thing: you can work on it. But the thing is, it's more about energy. You gotta bring it, baby. You gotta be fucking hype.
That was a lot of hype coming my way.
You gotta think like macho man. Yeah, that's what you gotta think like. Yeah,
I gotta learn how to sell.
Yeah.
Don't know how to sell. And later on, I'm pretty sure we'll be joined by bitch ass Eric.
Yeah, well, fuck.
And he comes in late.
We should just mute his mic.
I just don't fucking get how my family has a war with time. Just don't get it. Clocks are the enemy.
We're like, he's like, all right, we're gonna go set up, and he goes and takes a shit. Why?
I can't remember the last time my brother was ever on time for anything. Doesn't even matter anymore. Job, fucking hanging out with the homies, appointments, and even he went late to his job and he still got the job. So
and now he's kind of like a general manager or something.
And he goes in late.
Yeah,
I was like, all right.
And does he get on other people for being late?
I doubt
does he have to at work?
You can't be a hypocrite that way.
Hey, you were 5 minutes late.
People try to tell me.
How do you know?
They're trying to tell me to do that now. Like, you got to jump up if being late. I'm like, I'm fucking late all the time. I can't tell them nothing.
Oh, damn, you are Eric's son.
Oh, my son's back.
Damn, the Mijo train.
The Great White Hope. My son is way better than Eric's son.
I never knew that was up for argument.
No one's saying anything that's associated with Eric. They're gonna be good.
Fuck, I'm his friend. Shit.
They're entertaining as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
They could be good sometimes, but no one said they could be the best of things. Trash. Well, anyways, Nate, how's life treating you?
B plus.
B plus all the way.
B plus all the way.
That's you can be your answer for everything.
Well, like I told you, I buried a dog today.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was fun.
Your dog?
I was gonna say you're almost as tan as your hat is.
Well, yeah, I was out in the sun all day.
Wait, you buried a dog?
Okay.
You got
What's today?
Story now.
Today? Saturday?
Today is Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
So I came home yesterday on Saturday night.
Okay.
I got a U-Haul. I packed it up. I did all that junk. I got home at like 10 p.m.
Okay.
When I got home, I walked in the door because I'm going to be staying with my mom for like a month or two.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, it's good to see you. I'm going to need you to bury the dog.
Really?
I had to make room. When you left, I rented out the room.
And I was like, well.
Now I just evicted him.
I was like, well, what happened? And she said, well, that dog, my mom adopts like dogs that are dying. She's like a dog retirement home. She's like the Golden Retriever Foundation or something like that. This is a 12 or 13-year-old or 14 or 19-year-old, who knows, dog.
Yeah.
And the last time I visited my mom, that dog was like on its way out. Like, it could barely get up. I felt so terrible for it. It would take it like 5 minutes just to get its back legs and stand up and walk,
Damn, that old.
Yeah, it was old.
Hip dysplasia and all that, yeah.
But she was giving it a good home, whatever. Fine. But literally, I walk in the door, she's like, you're going to have to bury the dog. And then I opened it was like, 10 o'clock at night or something like that. And I opened the door, and the dog's there, and I'm like, oh, man. Brutal.
When did it die?
I guess a couple hours beforehand. I don't know.
Like just died.
Yeah. Well, you know what dogs do? Like sometimes they'll lay down and they don't get up for like 12 hours, but they're still breathing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're like, well, it's been 12 hours. I probably should have got up by, and eventually they just
die.
Yeah.
a pleasant way to go, I guess.
Yeah.
But either way, I was like, you know what? Maybe this is horrible, but I've just spent all day packing, all day putting it in a trailer. I drove 5 hours. I'm not going to bury this dog right now. I can't do it. So I wrapped it in a blanket and I put it on the porch.
So you went to bed?
I went to bed. I woke up the next day, and, of course the dog didn't disintegrate.
As most dogs do.
Most dogs don't. No coyotes took it or anything, so that made me, I was like, okay, well.
Would you been happy if some coyotes took it off your hand?
Depends on how it happened.
Yeah,
if they dragged parts around, I would have felt very terrible. I already felt bad about.
You outside the blanket.
In my head, your mom had like this whole big surprise. She taught the dog how to jump up and say surprise before you buried it. So you're just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna bury it tomorrow. And the dog's like, fuck.
But
I gotta wait till tomorrow. And then some coyotes try to drag it up, but he's like too focused on saying surprise, so they drag him up, and now he's dead.
Yeah, now he's in the den in pieces.
I mean, I felt bad about leaving it, but I also was thinking like, okay, if at 10 o'clock in the Castroville countryside, people are driving down the road and they see me like with a flashlight on my hand, like digging a hole.
Yeah.
Probably not a good idea.
But to be fair, how many people are going to be driving by your home?
And it's always it's
That-
not even
that late at
it's
night.
not
True.
even people driving. It's always that one fucking jogger with their dog or something. That one fucking jogger's like, I'm gonna take this route.
Because that actually happened to me one time. When I was taking care
I
of
was burying a body.
not burying a body. When I was taking care of my dad, actually, my dad was in a wheelchair at that point, and I locked myself out of the house, and we didn't have any spare keys or anything like that. So I had my dad like in the driveway, and I had to break in through the window. And like I was getting stuck, and I couldn't get all the way in. And the next thing I know, as I'm breaking into the window, like police show up. And they're like, hey, what's going on here? And I had to show them my ID and be like, no, this is my address. I got locked out, blah, 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 blah. So even though maybe not many people pass by, they're scared white people. So,
Fair enough.
So either way, as I said, I don't know where I'm going. But eventually I woke up, and then the dog was still there. So I started to dig a hole.
Rigored more than ever.
And it took me like...
So did you go to the 6 feet?
Oh, no. I was like, well, I was thinking about things. The only thing I remember is one time my grandpa buried a pet of mine, and he like wrapped it in aluminum foil and stuff. And I was like, why are you doing that? And he was like, oh, it's for this, so it doesn't get dug up or something, so no animals try and dig it up.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. I don't know. I didn't do that
Okay.
because it's a big dog. That's a lot of aluminum foil.
Does aluminum foil like a black smell?
Who knows?
No, I think it's the whole when they get to the metal part, they leave it alone.
Yeah,
They don't like
maybe.
chewing on foil.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah,
Did
my
you-
plan was like, I'm gonna dig a deep hole. I'm gonna dig it 6 feet deep because there's coyotes out here.
Did you? I was gonna ask. I was like, did you go by a whole standard?
Oh, hell no.
It's just like, good.
It's a big golden retriever. So I started digging the hole.
Gave up.
I mean, I didn't give up. I did give up like once every hour or so, But eventually I got like 3 feet down and the ground started to get real hard, and that's when I gave up. I was like, this has got to be deep enough. I kept measuring.
I basically hit the mantle.
Yeah.
I broke through the earth.
I kept sticking my foot in, being like, okay, ankle deep. That's got to be deep enough. When I got to like just below my knee, I was like, this has got to be enough. I can't keep going anymore.
And he only just did like that big.
Yeah. No, well, that's the fucked up part is, all night I was like, okay, when I get up in the morning, I'll measure the dog and I'm gonna dig the hole. Well, I just started digging the hole. I never measured the dog.
That's honestly that's how I would have done it.
So I started digging it before I measured, and then quickly halfway through, I was like, oh man. Like, I don't want the dog to be all, like, bent or, like, at a 90-degree angle or something like that.
It was like a 2 foot hole.
Well, like, no, I know I won't feel it, but you still have to be the person that, like, pushes it in and, like...
Yeah, you're gonna have to your bones snapped.
I didn't even...
To be
To be fair, I would have just put it in the bag and throw it in the trash.
Either way, I had to
Yeah, you could do that with chihuahuas and stuff.
You know what
I've done that. I've done that to a big dog.
That seems like there's a story behind that. So say,
You can do it with the chihuahua.
There's a couple.
stifle it. Let him finish his story.
After he finishes his story about
Believe
marrying
me,
dogs,
you
I
can-
have a side story for that.
Believe me, you can.
You know what I picture fucking Nate's story ending? He's like, I put the dirt back on, you can see the tail sticking up.
Yeah.
You're like, that's good.
Well, I got it pretty deep, but it wasn't as deep as I wanted to by the rules of Christian God or whatever, right? Because it's like 6 feet or something.
Now the
The
dogs,
Christian dogs, I don't believe.
Yeah,
now the
whatever.
dogs in dog purgatory.
Maybe the dog believes, so I was just trying to respect the dog's wishes.
Bro, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
So, Nate, welcome back!
That's how I spent my first day back.
Did you just like throw a? You just bought heavy duty aluminum foil, just threw it.
Well, I mean, I remember thinking about my grandpa doing that, but I was like, there's no way I can wrap this whole dog in aluminum foil.
You could. They sell the 5 foot like fucking.
Yeah, but also it's like, man, touching a big dick dog, it's not fun.
No, I can attest to this.
Especially if the maggots got to it or the.
It wasn't my dog.
Oh.
I didn't have a huge relationship
You don't have
with the
attachment
dog.
to it?
It's just you're touching a fucking dead dog.
Yeah.
Oh no! Yeah, no. It's.
Which it happened to me before. It wasn't a good experience either because one time I got driven off the side of the road into a dog.
What?
That's some bad luck.
The road on my house by my mom's house is like this really small road, and you have to like
It's narrow as
you have
fuck.
country rules, right?
Yeah.
You've got to be like, hey, you were coming first, so let me move to the side so you can go. Country rules, right?
Yeah.
Or hey, you're farther along. I'll move.
Yeah, big wave.
Some people don't do it like that though. And one time there's like a dog going on the side of the road, and I had the dog was on my right side though, so I had plenty of room to go on the left. But the guy was like, nah, I'm taking up this whole road, so I had to move to the right into the dog.
The dog's like, come on, man, I let you over there.
And that also was at like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And this is something I feel really bad about. That dog was dead instantly, and I'm terrible. And I was like holding it in my arms, like, this sucks. But I didn't know what to do because it didn't have a collar, it didn't have any tags.
Oh, okay, so
drove off.
Yeah, just leave it to the coyotes.
Well, I was like holding it for a while, and I was like, oh man, fuck.
Why? Screaming.
But no, it had a collar, but it didn't have tags on it. And I was like, man, starting to think like, should I go to this person's house and maybe ask them if they have a dog?
No,
or whatever?
just
And I was
leave
like,
it
no.
there.
Yeah, eventually
at best you call 411.
Well, okay. Well, first of all, we're dealing with somebody that has a good heart.
I think 411's information.
It's 311.
Yeah, I need information on whose dog this is.
I
I
think
killed the dog. It ran in front of my truck.
Dude, we had many pets, many dogs. I don't think I've ever buried one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Nope.
We're more of a, hey, stick in the trash bag and call the city.
Yeah.
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 Alright.
311.
You have something
Or
to say.
throw it in
Bart.
the trash.
Oh, it's
Chihuahua.
pretty much the same thing like that. Like it was back in the day with me and Bugs, and I remember we were.
The story's already bad.
Yeah, it's a terrible story. It's like way back in fucking middle school, where I was like, all right, we were gonna like shoot a little fucking home movie kind of thing, right? And I was like, it's gonna be.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we're gonna
You gotta preface what type of movie, because that.
Oh, just like stupid little skit.
Me and Bugs were shooting a home movie. What?
We were gonna get fucking.
Sounds like a gig old time.
Yeah.
Yep.
The long dick versus the one ball.
But then
It'll be
here
a
comes
triple
the
ball
Chihuahua.
slapping good time.
Yeah, and give it 3 balls.
No, it was just like stupid little skits or whatever.
Mad
his
TV.
His brother had like a camera, so we used to fuck around half the time.
Yeah.
Show each other our balls.
You know, normal kid stuff.
You know, kids still slapping balls on each other's face. Well, one of the skits was like based on like his dog or something. I forgot what the fuck it was about. And I was like, all right. I was like, it was
Oh
like
my God,
a week later. It was like, all right, well, we'll do this, and I forgot what the fucking dog's name was, or something like that. It was something stupid. One of your typical Chihuahua, Mexican Chihuahua names,
Paco.
something like that. And I was like, yeah, we'll do that. We'll just get the dog ready. He's like, oh yeah, she's not gonna be in the movie. And it's typical Bugs. Like, you have to fish out the fucking information from, like, what do you mean she's not? What happened? She's like, oh, she's dead. She died. And I was like, well, the fuck happened? She's like, I don't know. We just found her. She was dead. I don't know what to tell you. I'm
He's
like,
trying
well,
to put on a cool little sweater for the Knicks. He's like, come on, put on this jacket for the fucking shoot tomorrow.
Was there blood? Do you see, like,
I don't know. And I can't exactly examine the body because I was like, well, that sucks, man. Did you bury her? He's like, no. And I was like, well, what did you do? He's like, all I gotta say is, thank God it was trash day. I was like, oh, that's fucked up. But
you know you could get fined for that, right?
Probably. Well, that was years ago. So
there was less rules about it.
So as I'm saying, that's fucked up. Mm-hmm. Fast forward a couple years forward, my aunt used to have this dog named Lane. She used to fucking shit out puppies like no one's business.
Okay.
Well, let's just say like a certain batch. It was like during a winter that was pretty cold. And one batch didn't fucking make it. So we buried it.
Okay.
We buried it.
Okay.
And then
a whole batch.
Yeah, a whole batch of puppies. Buried in the backyard. Was that my
puppy grave? It's fucking awful.
So.
I mean, that's good.
This is at my cousin. This is at my cousin's house.
Uh-huh.
Like I said, fast forward a couple more years. The dog finally, she passed away underneath the trampoline, so dignified.
Okay.
Like, this seems like a good shady area.
It's me, my cousin Manuel, and my cousin Justin.
Okay.
And we all know Justin. Right? So we're just sitting there, and we're probably watching CSI or something like that. Like, we're pretty bored. And
wait,
mind you, we're like 20. I'm like 25.
I'm 35 years old.
I'm 31. We're like 25. Someone's 27. So it's like a little. So we're adults now.
Yeah. You're clearly full-blown adults.
We're sitting there just like
pay taxes.
We pay taxes here. Just sitting there just like fucking real bored. And then we start reminiscing about the dead dogs. And we're like, let's go in the back and play forensic scientists.
Oh.
So we go, we dig, we try to find the puppies. We find them. We dig them up.
Jesus Christ.
All of this is fucking horrible. I do not condone any of this.
So they dig them up.
Grim works this doc.
This was the best line of the whole thing. Justin gets down, and he's trying to pretend to be a forensic scientist. He's like, "Oh, the cause of death was 3 years ago. Looks like blunt force trauma to the head. I need a further examination." As he sat there picking at like dead dogs.
Oh god!
By this time they're like skeletons already. So
that's good. 3 years. Fucking puppies were alive.
Oh god, it's fucking terrible.
After that, they're not even like fully buried. They're just like they just dump them back into it. The whole and then we go in and then we probably go out to eat after that.
Oh god.
You go back in. Is that a rock or is that bone? It's a rock.
So there you go. When in doubt, when you're bored, just use your imagination.
Playing CIS with your backyard.
Yeah. Really funny. He's like, I'm trying to find some semen samples.
It was almost exactly like that. Hey, just watch like any fucking CSI, New York, Chicago, Maryland. We played all the things.
Sweet Bones.
Someone played Ice-T.
You mean there's dead dogs back there?
Wait, so you telling me someone would kill someone for money?
You telling me someone would bury puppies?
And then dig them up years later?
And not put them back in their resting place completely?
So all those dogs can't get put to rest.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so what were you playing, Nancy? Who were you?
the scared newbie.
Yeah, I was basically the intern. I was more of a spectator of anything.
You were the audience.
He was the cameraman.
It's a Super 8 camera.
I had some fucked up shit.
It was great. It was fun. Fun for the whole family. I recommend. 5 out of 10.
Could call this fucking episode K9 Carry.
I don't think. I mean, we care for a couple pets, but not enough to bury it. I can't think of even the puppies. We just.
Oh, dude! One time our fucking bulldog, like we had was it a Shih Tzu and a bulldog, and the Shih Tzu had babies, but they were like she put them too close to the bulldog. Found like 3 half-eaten bodies. I was just like, oh, fuck.
They're just talking about dead dogs now.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I didn't know that the mother.
Welcome back.
Right. I didn't know that when the puppies don't seem to be good, they're gonna live. The mom eats them.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
we caught one of the mom eating the puppy. I was like, what the fuck?
Such is the way of nature.
Yeah, she just eats them.
She's like, I brought you in, I'm taking you out.
Yeah, basically they're like just gonna be sickly and they can smell it on them and they just fucking snuff them out before anything.
Yeah, they do. It's fucking weird.
Mercy.
I mean, I don't remember having many dogs, but every dog that I've had, I never really buried because our yard isn't very big. So we ended up just.
So we put it on our neighbor's yard.
Yeah, my cousin's yard because he lives right next to me.
Buried them underneath that big old tree.
Yeah, the big oak tree. No, we just ended up just having to wrap them up and then calling the animal services or whatever.
311.
311? There you go. It just sucked when it was Chloe. Because I was like, oh, I love that dog. That was my dog.
Damn.
But
My girl.
that was my girl. She was.
My girl. Talking about my girl. You know what? Hey, you ever wanted to play Explorer with your fucking land? See what you find? Like whenever you like late
Hole?
yeah, like fucking when you watch late night TV, you know they're setting those metal detectors. Like I want to buy one, see what I can find in my yard.
Bunch of copper pipes. And
What the fuck am I gonna do with all this copper?
Hey,
Well-
copper sells good.
I know that was the joke.
Well, when we first moved into the house, to my house, the back was just like I guess-
open like your booty. Gotcha.
Yeah, it was just monte is what we call it.
I was
just
It was just that, and there was like people had made like little dugouts with stones and shit, and we're like, oh, that's cool. And then we'd find broken bottles and break them more. And then since I was a little kid, I was bugging my brother to take me. And then the first time he did, he pushed me, or I fell or something, and then I got like a stick right through my finger.
Oh fuck!
And it was a huge stick, and it was just like pointing out of like my. It didn't break the skin, but it was pushing through. And I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, so they took me.
So I finished the job.
They took me back to my house when I was freaking out, of course, because I was like 6. And then they took me to the hospital. They were just like, "We can't do shit about it," and I was like, "What?" But they were just like, "Can't do shit about it, just soak it in water." And I remember for like 3 weeks, I just had a stick in my hand. I was just like, I don't know what to do.
Why couldn't you take it out?
I don't know. I don't know why they refused to take it out.
It was barbed, so as soon as it pulled out, it ripped open.
Because it seems like it was just a splinter. You could like just make a small incision and then just like pull it out.
Yeah, so
Or the doctors were joking.
Or
This fucking kid's gonna walk around with a stick for 3 days.
What a fucking asshole.
3 weeks.
For 3 weeks.
Did I ever tell you that I had like a shard of glass in my foot for like almost, I think like 3 or 4 years?
That
How
happened.
does not get infected?
It happens to people, man. People get like that have been in car accidents or explosions. Like
Yeah.
10 years later, they'll have like pieces of glass coming out of their skin and stuff.
Yeah, like I had it at the bottom of my foot, like right where the ball is. Where
Okay.
the ball of your foot, where your nutsack hang out.
Yeah, of
All
course.
the way
So-
down.
It was my right foot. I remember every time I would walk, I would just feel like a pinch. Like, fuck. I forgot what happened. We just probably stepped on glass and never took it out fully. So I remember one day just looking, and there was always like a little bubble too. And I was like, why does it keep doing that? One day I just got super bored. I probably had like
Call my cousins.
Yeah.
CSI.
We're getting the
Look at my fucking foot, man.
This time we're doing ER. Who's George Clooney?
We're recreating all the good 90s hits.
Get the dog shovel. I basically just sat on my bed with like toenail clippers and just fucking went to town and started like cutting into my foot until finally like I pulled out this little chunk of glass and I was like, oh, that's cool. But fucking stinks. Now my butt fucking stinks.
What kind of glass was it? Like, do you think it was like from
Beer.
like
Maybe
a bottle?
Yeah, maybe like a cup or something.
Okay. Because I was like, was it from a car accident? Is there something you're not telling us, bro?
No, I probably have gravel still on my knee though.
Mm.
Where's it? Right here. It's on my knee. Like this whole thing.
Uh-huh.
This whole thing was fucking gashed open from
Uh-huh.
when I had a rowdy crash on my moped. Basically road rash, everything. And I remember sitting in the tub, like trying to clean it out.
Uh-huh.
It was just all black. I was just scraping it out.
Uh-huh.
I would lift my skin up and lift up the flaps and just like take out little chunks of asphalt in there. And eventually it just hurt. It just started stinging a lot. At one point I saw my bone. Yeah. And fun fact, I didn't go to the hospital at all. I let this thing heal. It took like 2 years for it to finally scab over.
Yeah.
He kept on playing with it too.
I probably did.
do.
That's what happened to my brother.
Oh
too.
no, poor people just go to the hospital and they just never pay the bill.
Yeah.
Lazy people. Poor lazy people don't.
Well, most people do. A lot of people do.
I don't.
My brother.
You can.
That happened.
No,
to
you go to the
him.
hospital, people find stuff wrong with you. That's my theory. Like, you can have cancer your whole life, but as soon as you go to the hospital, like, oh, it's cancer, and you're going to be dead the next day.
It's like I could have lived with cancer all
Exactly.
my life, and now you know, buddy.
Yeah,
All
not
my
too-
life I had to fight.
My brother was playing at the Monterey Park. He was playing basketball, and then he got shoved, and he fell on like a broken bottle. Because it's a bad park. It was a worse park when we were kids, and yeah, he like filleted like his knee where you can like see the bone like you.
Oh, fuck.
And he was just like, we don't know what to do. They took him to the hospital. And they're like, there's really nothing we can do. I don't know what hospital we went to. Apparently a real shitty one.
The hospital
Because-
can't do nothing.
Or they just saw the name and they're like, fuck these Vargas kids.
I already told them once. They'll learn.
It's fucking
a bunch of-
university downtown.
There's a bunch of people pretending to be doctors, and like every time they come in, they're like, "Oh, someone came in with something actually wrong. Just tell me you don't know what to do." And then once they leave, fuck man, I thought he was gonna find out I wasn't a doctor. I told him I didn't know what to do, and
Do
he
we still
believed
have
me.
any Robitussin? No, we're sold out. Well, I don't know. You gotta sell something else.
Take some
But yeah,
Nyquil.
eventually it just had
Take
to
a
scab
Tylenol.
over and he just has a huge scar on his knee.
Nice.
And then my dad broke his foot one time.
Went to that hospital again. They're like, my bad.
There's nothing we can do.
Can't you cast it up? And
Have you
hope-
tried calling Mark's cousins?
Yeah, but my dad was playing football one time. He stepped on the curb. He stepped off the curb and like broke his pinky toe, basically. But he like cracked it like the actual bone, not just like the actual toe part, the phalange. It was the actual bone, so he snapped it. He has a piece of wire down in there, and he's like, I was supposed to get that taken out. I never have. When it's cold, it fucking hurts. And I was like,
Why don't you take it out?
Because the bone's growing over it.
it probably has at this point.
Because those fucking guys at the hospital are still there.
They keep on telling me just to soak it in water.
It'll come out naturally, sir. Just soak it in water. Like that wire's part of me now.
All I had was that fucking little, like in elementary, I tripped up in the thing and there was like loose plastic and it got shoved into the back of my knee. And my mom's like,
A loose plastic?
yeah, it was like a plastic bottle or something, or like a tin, like a little metal tin something. And it just kind of shoved its way in there. And I was just bleeding all the time. And I just kept on playing with it. And my mom fucking took a look at it. I wish I went to the doctor this guy went to. She was just like, let's see. She cut up around it, and then she pulled it out, and there was just like a little big old, about a quarter-size fucking piece of plastic just hanging out there. And I was like, huh. And I go, well, she's like, I can't stitch it up. I was like, all right. So she just put a bunch of like fucking
Gauze.
cream and gauze on there. I was like, that'll heal.
Yeah, my mom does a lot of things like that.
Cool thing is, around that same time, the science fair was coming around.
Got
So I
road
bought a microscope and I started looking at it underneath the microscope to see the dead skin cells and shit. I was like, oh,
That's pretty big.
yeah. And then I figured I could look at a bunch of other dead skin, so I started like picking scabs like crazy.
I think about it, doctors do make things worse. I remember when I got burned, like all the side of my body.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the doctor, like my mom was like, I can make you better. She's like, no, This calls for a doctor. Let's go to the doctor. So I went to the doctor. They didn't know I was allergic to the medication they gave me. So they gave me a cream for it. And for 2 days I put it on and I was like, man, my fever is not breaking or anything. It's like, whatever. So we finally take a look at the wound. It was all infected and pussy. And I was like, damn. I go, Mom, fix me now.
She was like, nope, you didn't listen to me the first time.
Oh no, she made me learn the lesson. Like, she scrubbed the shit out of my skin. She scrubbed it. She's like, it's good. He's like, brace yourself. It's one of those things where you call your older brother and he's like, hold him down. It's like, why is he holding me down? She got a fucking like the strongest loofah she had, and she fucking hot water and scraped the shit out of my skin. And she popped all the pus boils.
And read it.
And she's like, I was like, what the fuck? Then she put cream. She's like, you want to go to the doctor again? I was like, no more doctor for me. But shit.
Ugh.
Anyways, that was a weird.
That was a fun little.
Good times.
Any other personal?
Anything else happened to you?
B+, bro.
You see, that is a good fucking mentality to have. You buried a dog and it's still B+.
Alive.
Shit.
Got my health. As long as I don't go to the doctor, apparently.
Did you ever fix your bathtub knob thing?
Well, I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Oh, true.
That's not my apartment.
No,
anymore.
man, but was it fixed by the time?
Fuck.
Oh, okay.
You let the
It's
swimming
still
pool.
spraying water through the
No, I mean, well, I don't know what they call it, but I pipe doped it. We call it pipe dope. I don't know. Thread sealant or whatever. I did all that, but it was still backwards so that the hot water was cold and the cold water was hot. Which doesn't, you think like, oh, that's fine. I can just readjust my brain and be like, go to the red for hot. But it makes a difference. Because you're like,
especially you're halfway asleep.
when you're turning, well, I'm just saying, like when you're turning it on, like you get small amounts of water flow, but that's when it's hottest. So it's like,
Gotcha.
you see what I'm saying? It's just not as good.
Yeah.
Not as good. Believe me.
That's okay.
So you don't have to worry about that because
I moved to San Antonio, suck my bonio.
yeah, we were listening
Ted
to a lot of Ted Nugent before this podcast started, and I was saying how fucked up Stranglehold is. Go read those lyrics for yourself. You're gonna fucking.
You'll love it.
I love it.
Have a good time.
Alright. Now, it's time for the real story. Some interesting shit happened to. I forgot your weird ass name.
Oh, it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Weirdly
Something
tough.
happened to
Wiggly,
CSI.
Wiggly.
It's CSI. Puppy killer over here.
They were dead before.
Forensic Mark.
Mark the desecrator of graves.
Mark the deflower.
So what happened to you that was so interesting and alarming?
I feel like there's two things that could have happened to you.
Talk about the truck thing first.
What
Yeah.
truck thing?
I don't know about
why
the shit thing.
why I don't have a mirror.
No.
I don't have a
Okay,
driver's
all right.
license.
Well, three things. Did we talk about what happened to you on Valentine's Day? Nothing happened in the haunted house thing, right?
Nah, nothing happened.
Oh, okay.
Haunted house.
I think we did go over it. You're like, yeah, it's full of shit.
Yeah, it was full of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing happened at the haunted house.
Why
We
don't
gotta-
you have a beer on your truck?
Oh, so I was. This is like it's happened in the span of a month of the week.
Okay.
No shit.
B plus week.
So I'm driving by fucking Evers and Callahan and Evers.
Oh, where they're fixing the road?
They're fixing the road.
Yeah.
So I pass it up at that fucking. I'm going up Callahan, like going towards 410.
Yes.
You pass it up. So I'm going, and you know how they have barricade on one side? They just moved it down to 2 lanes. So as I'm driving forward, I pass up the light. A lot of traffic, but it's kind of going. It's going traffic. There's a big truck in front, like kind of in front of me,
Okay.
on the other lane. And there's this dude that fucking decides to like, oh, let me peek over to the other side to see what's up ahead. Maybe I might hit the light or whatever. So he peeks over, and I'm fucking driving right for him. We're about to fucking like head on, kind of collide, sort of swipe, and I can't turn
Yeah.
to the other side because of the fucking barricade. Last minute, he fucking realizes what's gonna happen, pulls, like, turns back, completely misses the whole truck, and takes out my fucking mirror. and like I can't turn around because there's still traffic going.
Yeah.
They pass up the light, so there's no chasing them down. So it takes out my mirror. My mirror's still intact. It's just missing the back part and the actual mirror. It's just like a bare skeleton of that.
That is weird.
It's weird. And I look at the truck, like nothing on the tires, nothing on the side. There's no scrapes. There's nothing on the front end of it. Like,
he probably just had like towing mirrors. He probably took out his mirror too.
Damn. If anything,
yeah. Take solace in that.
We're jousting with mirrors.
That's some alien impact bullshit right
That's
there.
That's why I hate that fucking street right now, dude.
Yo.
Why can't I go around straight down?
I only travel late at night where there's a lot of drunk people.
So I go Bandera into the access road to get to Heroes. Instead of going through them.
I rarely go that way anymore now.
Well,
I mostly take the highway, but I think there was a bunch of traffic. It was getting close to 410 traffic, like, you know, around 4 o'clock, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, this might be just the fastest way instead of just taking like 410 to I-10 or whatever. So I decided to go that way, and I shouldn't have. It cost me $45. Could have been more, but I mean,
it could have been a lot worse.
It could have been worse.
You're good. You're good.
Still gonna bitch about it though.
We can't stop you.
Talking about things getting a lot worse. What's the other thing that happened to you, man?
So last Sunday, I feared for my life.
Oh, right. Nate doesn't know this.
Oh, you don't know this story? Okay, so you're gonna be all right into this.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you heard recently. Last week, couple people got shot at the Texas Roadhouse.
I think no.
No, I think I've heard of Roadhouse.
I've heard of
no.
random
You know what?
shootings.
I think I heard. I think I heard y'all talk about it.
Yeah. We did go over it briefly.
Yeah. So, after work, the girlfriend was like, "Hey, let's get Roadhouse." And I had the podcast, and I was like,
"Live dangerously."
I was like, "Podcast,
steak and fear."
Yeah, podcast or steak." Fucking steak all the way.
Podcast didn't have a chance.
Steak always wins.
Yeast rolls, dude. Yeast rolls. I mean.
Yeah, and the rolls were. I had at least two things of rolls.
What the fuck did I tell you?
I had 8 rolls. Like I heard you talk about it. You're like, you probably had a whole basket. I was like, I had 2 whole fucking baskets to myself. That's just to myself.
How was your well done steak?
I didn't have a well done steak because that's not how you eat steak, you silly man.
Do you think that there's a roll cutoff?
No,
should you ever try?
You know what? I think we should.
Should we go there one day and try?
Just try.
We got to go to a different one though. We can't go there.
He's scarred.
Fair enough.
Just yesterday, girlfriend was just like, "Man, I really want a steak," and I was like, "Ooh."
Soft as it is.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to chance it right now.
All right, so you continue your story.
So it was either come to the podcast or go get steaks. So I was
But you said fuck them.
I'll just get the fucking steaks.
Right. Yeah,
I was like, who knows? But I might get done early, and then I'll just go over there and just, have steaks.
Be gassy.
Yeah, exactly. Have the meat chips.
Sound halfway dead on the podcast.
Yeah, just all staked out. So we're sitting there. We eventually get seated to our table, which is, I don't know if you know that Ingram layout.
Yeah.
We were sat at, here's the bar, and there's that little high part where it's just that one little thing, and the only exit is that little fucking ramp.
Yes.
It's like a little higher than all the other places.
Yes.
I'm sat there, but a little more closer to the right-hand side by the glass. So we're talking, whatever, and I guess we're just complaining about our fucking problems and how much life sucks right now. And I'm eating my food. I'm like halfway through my steak, and I'm getting a little full, about to go take it.
Yeah.
Asking for a box. Then out of nowhere, I hear like a loud crash.
Okay.
I hear like a real loud crash, and I see some dude like fucking sprint to the exit in the back.
Okay.
And first thing I thought was like, oh shit, like maybe someone just broke a glass. And when I saw the dude run, I was like, oh, okay. Maybe a fucking fight broke out over there. So I turned, and there was nobody. And because I heard people yelling. And I was like, yeah, a fight must have fucking broke out or something. So these guys are just fucking right on it, like fucking Stop, it's a family restaurant.
Oh, okay. I thought you'd been like, I want to see this fight.
Yeah, and I mean, I looked and there was nothing. It wasn't until I started noticing people are like kind of in the front starting to duck down, and then I hear someone scream like, everybody just get the fuck down. And so I'm kind of freaking out, and I'm like, okay, well, what the fuck is going on? And as soon as I start realizing that people next to us are starting to duck down, I'm like, okay, some shit's going down. So I eventually like get down and I just fucking yank her down with me. And I kind of do that fucking meat shield thing. Like if this place is gonna get shot up, then I guess I'm gonna get fucking shot up.
Yeah.
Might as well try to go out like a fucking hero.
Like a hero.
Yeah, I didn't even.
can be your hero.
But the thing is, the floor is so like now everyone just it's full blown. Everyone's freaking the fuck out.
At this point, all you've heard is just a crash, right?
All we heard is a crash, so we have no idea. All we know is everyone's down. I have no fucking idea what's going on.
Are you hearing kids crying?
Yeah, we hear people screaming. We hear like all you hear is people fucking screaming and freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
So you have it's basically like everyone's in a fucking chaos mode. You have no idea what the fuck's going on. You don't know if the place is being shot up. I heard like someone saying someone's shooting. So automatically you fucking think like, oh, this is fucking it. Like someone busts into the Texas Roadhouse and someone's gonna fucking shoot everyone right now.
Hey, but at least you had good steak.
It's true.
So
that's probably the first thing I didn't think of. So so I have no idea. My first reaction is like just look up and see like what the fuck's going on, like to see where is this coming from.
Survey your surroundings.
Yeah, but I can't get up because I gotta kind of worry about the girlfriend. She's freaking out. I'm for sure freaking out. There's people like this is the window. This is where we're sitting on the window, and then here's over here to my right are like the other seats. Well, people on there like all that side's already fucking taken. It's not like we can sit underneath our table because it's by the window. If some dude's walking up, strolling up, you just fucking see us and boom, we're done.
Yeah.
It's hard to kind of move because everyone's drinks now fell everywhere, mixing with the peanut oil. So the floor's just super fucking slick.
Yeah.
I get her to push her all the way back to the end, so at least we'll try to fit in or something like that. Lady in the corner next to us is fucking crying, holding her kid's mouth closed, like trying to say a prayer, like, you know, this is it.
Yeah.
So that's the mood everyone was in. And it wasn't until I started noticing people were going out from the back. Like a lot of people were just going to the back, and I was like, the fuck up, we're going to the back. So we make our way to the back. Eventually, like, when everyone gets there, everyone, like, is running to that little hill part just in case.
Yeah.
And then we find out that it wasn't, like, it's not an active shooter. This is just some fucking dude who came and just, like, shot up a couple people up in the front. And so, as we're making our way back, they're like, all right, everybody get back inside. It's safe in there. Cops
Finish your
start...
steak.
Huh?
Finish your steak.
Not even, because she forgot her phone. So... we went to go get her phone. By the time, you know, on the way back, I hear this lady, like, crying. She's saying she can't find her son. She doesn't know where the fuck her son's at. The kid's name is Anthony. So, first thing we do is, like, we get her phone. Then I just start looking, like, around. Just maybe he's under the table or some shit like that. So, we try to look for the kid. Cops eventually show up. The lady's still freaking out about the kid, where he's at. No one can find him. He's nowhere in the fucking... he's nowhere inside the restaurant. And that's when, like, everything... like, you know, you're still in kind of panic mode, but everything's starting to die down a bit.
Yeah.
You know, you're still on that adrenaline run. So, I look around, and a couple things I started noticing. As soon as we walked in, there was one dude with, like, a full thing of beer just chugging now. So one dude's drinking. As I go back outside again, and there's like a plate that fell on those stairs. Someone brought their plate that had food on there. So, you know, you just fucking take what you can. Eventually the cops there, they quarantine everything, so we're all just kind of sitting around. And we see some people like take off already, and we're like, well, let's just get the fuck out of here. So we try to make it to the front, and we get stopped. But as soon as we get out to the front, the cop stops us, like, where y'all going? And we're like, we want to get out of here. We didn't see shit. Like, we were inside. The guy's like, nope. Guys start questioning people if they saw anything. Got to go back in. And so we try to go through the front, but the door's locked. They locked the front door. And I was like, yeah, well, that's cool. And he's like, you gotta go through the side. You gotta go through the side. And as we walked to the side, that's where the fucking one of the ladies got fucking shot. So she was just laying there. Damn.
Blood out?
Huh? There was blood. I tried not to. I didn't really look at it too much, but
You had to, so you can witness it. Be like, no.
well, you see a dead body. You kind of seen them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there was that lady. There was another guy, I think a little far off to the side. And then we kind of sit there, and we sit like right in the edge of the waiting room. And there's that window, and there's a hole there. That's where the crash was.
Mm-hmm.
The bullet went through there, and it went through the wall. It didn't go all the way through the wall. It just through the fucking wall.
Mm-hmm.
So we were just kind of there. There's like an old couple there. Like the old dude just like, why is everyone looking around and stuff? like everyone's in shock, obviously.
Yeah.
And then we can kind of hear some more stuff like, oh, they think it was a family dispute. Some guy came in here and shot up his own family. So I think I've heard like 5 people got hit.
Mm-hmm.
The kid who was lost was the kid who got hit in the leg.
No shit.
Yeah. So when the kid got hit in the leg, whoever got hit, they like got him out of there and they rushed him to the hospital. That's why the kid was missing. The kid's good. Oh, I hear the kid's fine. Most of the people were critically wounded. I want to say maybe 2 people died. 1 lady and 1 dude died.
That thing that we tagged you on said like 2 critical, and 1 guy was like good enough that he drove himself to the.
I think that was the guy who took
hospital.
the kid.
Yeah.
I think that was the kid because last I heard it was like 5 people who got hit.
Yeah.
Saw 1 dude get hauled off. I don't know if that was. He looked like he was okay, but I don't know. So after that, we were just kind of just started letting people know. And that's when I messaged you guys, kind of before we took off, before I saw that lady laying there. That's when I messaged you guys, like, got fucking shot up. And I turned to my girlfriend. I was like, man, the fucked up part is, out of all this, like, first people I told were y'all guys in the group chat what happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. I was like, imagine if something fucking happened. Like, my last words would have been Roadhouse. Like, why aren't you coming to the podcast? Well, how come we not coming to the podcast? Fucking Roadhouse.
And be like, man, Mark's such an asshole. Just fucking staying, and then we're just like, oh my god.
So
remember before we thought steak, we were joking around. I was like, is he watching Roadhouse the movie? Or did he go eat Roadhouse the steak?
So after all that was done and all stuff like that, we eventually get to leave. Like, we sat there, they kind of questioned us real quick. They're like, hey, you didn't see anything? Get out of here, go.
Yeah.
So that's all well and done. I had the next day off, so I just kind of, we spent like the whole day just, I guess, telling family members and shit like that. So it was like a long, busy day.
Good cheese, man.
Yeah, no one really wanted to ask us. Like, I guess they were kind of worried about it. I mean, I'm not all fucked up by it. I was telling Tony I went to the rodeo Friday. I think, like, because of that, I'm a little more, like, aware of my surroundings now, in case. So
It makes you know where you're at all times.
Yeah.
Like, any problem that we fucking had because of that whole, like, I'm not so much scared about the whole, someone came and shot some other people. Because I was telling Tony, I was like, I'm not saying I'm like fucking hood where people get shot and they die all the time.
Yeah.
I lived around it. You kind of used to it, but I guess it was just mostly like the whole moment of everyone freaking the fuck out, and you're like,
it was everybody's energy, right?
Yeah, it was like, this could be the fucking moment where I'm like, boom, this is where this is it. I get fucking laid out. I knew this place was gonna be the end of me. So
you hear all that shit in news about shooters and shit, kind of.
Yeah, that doesn't help either.
Yeah,
which I told him, I guess this part kind of hit me the most. Not so much like I was scared or anything, but just kind of like, wow, that's kind of fucked up. I never thought of it this way. It was like, local West Side Roadhouse gets shot up, and I stopped and I was like, damn, this neighborhood's considered the fucking West Side? Yeah. I've never considered that area West Side. Like, it's Northwest, but I've never considered it West Side. It's like Northwest. Like,
you
it's
pass
not
medical, that's when it starts turning north.
like here is West Side.
Yeah.
Like here is West Side. Like, I was telling Tony, like, at what point do I consider it West Side to Northwest Side? And it wasn't until like maybe you get past that.
Even there, no.
It was just in the square.
After
I think it's a circle.
I think after you pass Benris, like
I-10.
once you pass Benris, the street like going down Calabria, like kind of cut off there. Then I consider like, okay, I'm getting into the West Side. And then once I get here, I'm West Side.
Yeah.
When like over there by my grandma's on Couples and whatever, It's West Side.
South
But
Side.
then once you get on Kirk Road and you go past the train track, now you're South Side.
Yeah.
Yo.
So I was just wondering. I was like, man, it's the whole cutoff part. So I guess like when I saw that, it was like West Side Roadhouse. I was like, I don't live on the West Side. It's not the West Side.
Not anymore.
No!
Yeah.
Damn, we.
I think we're like west, southwest, southwest.
That area alone has had a fireman die, a restaurant get shot up.
Damn, now it's not considered West Side.
A fucking, what was that tragic 5 collision that happened a while back off the freeway too?
Oh,
No
hey.
shit, that happened?
Yeah.
And then also like 2-3 days ago there was that rapper that got shot to death
Oh, that was down the street on
between
14.
Babcock and
No, yeah, Callahan. Between Callahan and
Babcock.
Babcock
Yeah, on
on
the 410.
somebody got shot on the freaking
Like
freeway.
by the Popeyes and shit?
They were on the actual
that's-
highway.
yeah.
Oh, no shit.
And
Yeah,
they got shot.
They shut down a local
Goddamn.
rapper. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the West Side now, man.
Well, shit.
Hey, but it's not just limited to the west side, because there was that standoff that happened on 35 going towards New Braunfels. And I wasn't working that day, but Mike was.
No.
So apparently Mike was like heading back to San Antonio, and he got the call. He's like, hey, don't take 35. And he's like, why? He's like, there's like a shootout there. There's a standoff there, so just
I thought that
go
was
the other way.
I thought that was the one that the shooter. There was a thief on the bike, and they chased after him, and the cop shot him down because he was shooting off the bike. You never saw that in news? Yeah, there was a dude who stole something. He took off on a bike, and the cops went after him, and he started shooting at the cops. I think I didn't read the report right, and the cops had to kill him.
Here's my thing. This is kind of like the conspiracy fucking nut in me that goes off every once in a while. I was like, man, there's a lot of like shootings that are going on. They're being reported a lot more. That's probably part of it. But I was like, what if there's one guy pulling the strings that's trying to go for gun reform, but just like paying off random people for fucking for shoot-offs? And I was like, you're gonna too fucking crazy. You're not even like on drugs.
He's thinking there's like a wall bridge from like you don't mess with the Zohan.
Yeah,
a rich
exactly.
dude who's like,
I was
I
like,
want to gentrify this place, so let's make it really bad so we can buy land for cheap.
yeah, but not replace that with a good movie. What you do? I had like
Boys in the Hood.
I fucking had the red lines of string going from like.
Damn, you started playing NCIS too.
Yeah, dude, I was
Next
fucking.
thing you know, it makes the fucking whatchamacallit, fucking like Pentagon and shit.
Pentagram.
Yeah.
Pentagram. There you go.
It makes the
Pentagon.
It's all connected to 9/11
I think
again.
it's just what we see on social media news that just gets stuck in our head. Like
Yeah.
I said, you had all the shootings and stuff. So
During
even-
that Facebook live feed, like, cause fucking news reporter were there,
Yeah.
like right when the cops showed up. So they had that one like corner shot or whatever. My girlfriend's car was like just right there. We were literally
Right out of
sitting in the
frame.
car right there. Out of
Were
the
there bullet holes in your car?
I don't know.
No. That would have been cool.
'Cause they shot in the.
Yeah,
They
you shot towards the
Oh, I'm glad you're alright.
Yeah.
So,
I'm surprised there was nobody like doing Facebook Live or fucking videotaping shit. Usually you see those things like in
Yeah.
the gay bar where you hear everybody's like, bah, 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 get down, get down. I was like, oh, okay, that'd be nice to see.
it's good that nothing happened to you. Nothing
Yeah.
happened to your girl.
Did you get to finish your steak?
I got halfway done, but I didn't have to pay for it.
You didn't have to pay for the
Oh,
No one
that's
paid.
fucking sweet.
Hey, bright side of this, free steak.
Free steak.
No
will
one
have-
paid except for the people that got shot.
I mean,
Terrible.
you know, bad side
Just
of things.
dark.
Very emotional scarring that probably won't leave you. But you got free steak and some good rolls.
God, I'm so
And
hungry
you got,
now.
you got,
Man, me too.
and you got
Yeah,
a great
I'm
story
down
to
to
tell.
I'm cool.
Yeah.
Go eat.
A great
Let's go eat
A couple
somewhere
people-
away from the west side.
A couple
Yeah.
of people have like cracked joke. He cracked a joke like when I wasn't there, because I put like on the Facebook whatever page over there. I was like, hey, just went to Texas Roadhouse, 2 stars out of 10. Rolls are great, but can't help but get shot up. And that's when everyone was like, are you all right? This and that. Next day, he cracks a joke. And he's like, actually, Mark got hit, but the bullet ricocheted off his glasses. And so when I heard that he made that
Wait.
joke, he made
Doesn't
that.
he have glasses?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm blind as fuck. So after that, I was like, I heard your joke. And he's like, oh yeah, he repeated himself. And I was like, see, that's what I like about you. I was like, you understand what it's like to be bulletproof. I was like, I have my thick glasses. You're fat as fuck.
You see, you took a fucking joke that was a chew and you fucking made it an 8. You see, that's what I want. That's all I want out of life. I just want improvements.
Comedy, tragedy plus time.
Yeah.
Total good. That's the only thing that heals bad time is a good laugh.
Yeah.
Cause I was when I heard the news that happened, I was like, there was a anxiety relief there in case you needed it.
Yeah.
And you have all this shit there, right?
Damn. Yeah.
And I was telling them, I was like, why would people get anxious? Man, you get used to hearing gunshots and
Coming from like the most anxious guy we know.
Yeah, no, I mean, but we hear gunshots all the time around.
Yeah,
You don't fucking freak out. You
but
go.
like what he's saying is it's different when it's like
You're apart-
5 feet away from you,
Oh, but-
or you could get accidentally hit, or.
I mean, that's happened to us. We were.
I can understand what he's talking about. That you feel that moment where you're like, oh shit, I'm about to die.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Like I say, it wasn't so much the whole shot, like, you know.
Yeah.
Plus, you
In
got
the hood, you have the mentality of like, okay, someone's fucking shooting up someone else because
No, I mean,
fucking hood.
but I remember when our neighbors started fighting with the gang, and they were shooting in front of us. We're outside, and the neighbors are screaming, "Hey, get down! There's bullets right now!" And then you see a bullet hit up the post. You're outside, and you're like, "That was a bullet." And you see a motherfucker running with his gun, shooting at the other dude running down a truck. Right. So I witnessed guns, and I was like, I'm more afraid of going away from town than being around a gunfight.
He's like, where's the restroom?
Yeah, I never understood like why people get so scared of being in front of me. I've seen it, heard it. On New Year's, that is our entertainment, nothing but guns.
I think the whole mentality is a person, like that whole thing saying like a person is rational, they can ration all out. Get a group of people.
It's all about the end. It's the energy.
It's the chaos of everybody that you like. Yeah. You hear the scream and you're like,
you get anxious about like seeing a fucking kid cry and you're like, shut the fuck up, kid, you're gonna give us away. Type of deal.
And I think it's different in terms of like, okay, you've seen it. It's happening in front of you, but it's not being in your direction. Like things can happen, yes, but when a gun's pointed at your face, no, that's different. I shit myself. I'll be honest.
See, but the thing is, no one was shooting a gun. The guns were not pointing at them.
Yeah.
Like I said, this shooter came.
The people that got shot probably shit themselves.
Right? But that's and you know what they did? They never fucking found the shooter either. He just
but that's the thing.
I think it's the people.
The Roadhouse?
Apparently it was black.
Really? Yeah.
It was a black dude.
They didn't find him?
He had like this white blanket over his head or something like that. I don't think he came in a car. He just like rolled up on them and just fucking... He ran after that.
You know what the difference is though? Is the uncertainty. Like when our neighborhood gets shot up and they do that in bright daylight and shit, you know it's not aimed at you.
Yeah.
You know that they're chasing someone. If you catch a stray bullet, oh fucking that shit happens. Mm-hmm. But in a place like him, you don't know who's the target. Yeah. I guess that's the difference.
Yeah, and then you're thinking about it. It's like you by yourself or with your brothers, whatever, what have you outside.
I wasn't there. I was at work. I missed it.
Yeah. But then there's a thing where he's in an enclosed space. It's a packed house because it usually is.
Especially if you don't know your exits.
It was busy.
Yeah.
And like I said, the only exit, like you're at the top, and the only way out is that one little thing.
Yeah.
That's what you start jumping over people.
So it's environment. It's not the
fight
actual
or flight, bro.
It's not the actual guns. It's not anything. It's the environment of you're in. Like, oh, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like in my house, if shit gets popping, we own weapons, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Over there, you're at a restaurant, you can't really do anything.
You can't do nothing. And like, me and her talk about it that maybe the next day or that night, the next day, and the day after that, because we're playing it. Yep. We're like, we could sit here and say, could have done things different. I was like, fuck. I was like, we had steak knives with us. Could have grabbed a fucking cup or something like that.
I was thinking, grab a steak knife and fucking
the thing. I was like, I could have just had maybe a steak knife or a cup or done something like that. But in the moment, you don't think about it.
Yeah, in the moment.
And I was like, and if it was an active shooter, it's like, honestly, we were just fucking sitting ducks there because there was nothing we could have done.
Mm-hmm. This is why everybody should practice throwing knives and carrying a knife with you, baby boy.
Actually, on all this gun control and gun violence that's been talked about and shit. You know that guns are not the top thing people used to kill with? Knives beat them by a lot. There's more knives, stabbings and violence and deaths than guns. And then right after knives is abortions. So they're like, how many deaths there is in the world?
I'm pretty sure there's stuff above knife. I think it's like alcohol, cigarettes.
No, but we're talking about, what causes... No, actually alcohol does not cause that many deaths.
It causes...
I mean, not more than knives.
I mean, drunk driving. Cars. We should ban cars.
I don't know. We'll have to look up those stats. But
I would think that stat sounds like a right wing
What's that?
because it's like guns don't actually do anything. Abortion does more than guns.
Well, no,
Because at first I would have believed the whole knife thing, but as soon as you started saying abortions, I'm like,
right, these are some Trump-ass numbers.
that's probably. I saw. I was watching those interviews.
I mean, I know the one biggest thing is like when people talk about gun safety, it's like swimming pool kills more kids than guns do. Like, well, we put a ban on swimming pools. Because I mean, apparently kids drown in pools more than they fucking get shot.
I did. Nah.
I never asked you, Dave, what's your stance on guns?
I have a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a shotgun.
I own a gun too, so.
I don't think you probably shouldn't be able to like own an M14.
So you would go.
I don't know. Sometimes I think it should be like the same as your driver's license. You know, like you could have like you know when you're
CDL.
yeah, like you got
the bigger the
you can have a
gun,
you
the
can have a
more
Class A
license.
license or a Class B license or a Class C. You know, you can drive different size vehicles or you have this much training, so you're allowed to drive radioactive material or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, why couldn't you? Okay, if you want to own this section of guns, you have to take this 6 months of gun safety classes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you want to own up this level of guns, you have to take another year of safety classes, and then you could even do like, well, if you're whatever ex-military and you have all this training, and as long as you're going to like a psych evaluation once every 6 months or whatever, you've got your permanent.
You can carry around a
Right.
bazooka.
Whatever. I don't know.
That's actually not a bad thing.
I mean, that's basically kind of like the gun control, the gun laws that Japan has. You have to take like a written test, an oral test, a psych test, and then you got to renew it every 2 years.
But you have
Going through the whole thing.
it's those two. I
And
get
then
both sides of it.
You have to have the gun in the safe in one thing and the bullets in another.
I get both sides of it. I get like
Yeah.
people are dying a lot. Kind of
Yeah.
sucks. But people will find guns. It's not really gonna help you.
Yeah. People are gonna find guns.
But also, I don't know that everybody having a gun is gonna change that. No. Like, in the situation you're in, if you had a handgun on you, do you think what?
Like if that was the situation, I stopped. I was like, if I had a gun, then I'd try to do something. But then, but then I thought like,
think about
if I had the gun, then wouldn't people freak out? Like, fuck, this guy might be like some type of wannabe terrorist thing, so let's fucking jump him.
Not really, because you're hiding.
I think you just get into chaos of like this guy
Pretty
comes in and
much,
starts
yeah.
shooting,
You're
and
gonna
you
hear
pull
more
out the
and more
gun, and you're like, well,
I
who
feel
shot
like
everyone?
if my brother was there, he'd probably been getting his gun. He'd be looking around, keeping the kids thing down. He's just looking to be an American hero.
But I understand too.
You know what?
I think it would create a little more chaos.
If he had the gun, you're just waiting for that one person to go gun, and they don't say anything. And it's just him, and he becomes a criminal in the bad guy instead of the hero.
It's just. Yeah.
It depends on the situation.
The situation, but I think it'd be like everybody down, and then you just have your gun holstered and ready. Obviously, you're in the inside. Everything came out from the outside. Mm-hmm. You don't know what's going on. You're just trying to protect yourself. So, with the training you get from getting your concealed license, you kind of go through some form of training.
What's saying you're not like freaked out when you shoot the first thing that looks threatening to you, and that's not somebody. It's not the shooter. That's not the shooter.
No.
Well, I'm saying, or what I'm saying in that situation. Let's say that happened and you had a handgun and you popped up and you like saw the guy with the gun and you shot him, and it turns out that guy had pulled the gun on the guy who pulled the gun.
Yeah.
You know, like.
No.
Now that's a movie twist right there.
Well,
but
innocent guys don't run with guns.
Ironically, I do own a shotgun. Yes.
I own a 38, so.
But
I'm for guns.
I don't own
coyotes and stuff.
Yeah.
I own these fists that can't do much.
My mitts.
I own an X-Acto knife.
But I do have
I could cut up a Warhammer thing.
Yeah, I can scrape the fucking mold lines off of how many fucking Warhammer pieces.
I do have that one argument.
I won't get down and tell you how many bolted guns I got.
Yeah.
Multi-melters, flamethrowers, plasma.
I have a few plasma guns. I'll get them for you on Monday.
Oh, you just bit his dick.
Tomorrow when you come by.
He forgot all about his traumatic experience.
There you go.
I think it took me about like a day and a half maybe to finally just kind of stop thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Girlfriend, on the other hand, was a little more whatever.
But she's younger. And
yeah.
She hasn't experienced the whole.
She apparently has a life to live.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, like no, it was like a good date because the next day, all I wanted to do, like my body was just fucking tense. I just wanted to fucking relax and not do nothing.
Yeah.
Like, after that, she was like, "We gotta go do stuff. We gotta go do things." And then I think after a while, I kind of told her like we were at the mall. I was exhausted. I was like, "Can we just like stop pretending things are normal right now and just go and lay down for a bit?"
Oh.
I think after telling her that, she kind of like everything just kind of hit her. She's like, "Yeah, what we're doing right now is not normal, is it?" I'm like, "No, we should just be laying down, just taking it easy, just doing whatever you can."
She's like, I gotta live life. You never know what's
And
there.
so,
You're
yeah.
just like, man, I just want to fucking fall asleep.
Yeah, I think after that, it kind of like shocked her into it because after that, her mood got a little. I guess she started replaying it more in her head, and it was until like that final night where she finally got that, I guess, emotional cry that she needed.
The tears of relief.
Yeah.
Those are good.
Yeah, she was just scared, and I guess she's been replaying, and she's like, I just keep replaying in my head, like, what if things went wrong? I was like, I know, I was replaying. That's what I've been doing too.
You start playing the
But I
dangerous
mean-
games of what if.
Yeah, and I was like, but that was it. The thing is, it's what if we're here, whatever problems we were complaining about look stupid, don't they?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, made laugh for a bit, and then went to sleep.
Shit.
Next day, I had to go to work. She got like the next 3 days off.
And you're like, fuck, bitch.
And they were like, Tuesday was like 11 to midnight. Next day is Wednesday, so it's comic book day, so you're there for 11 hours.
10 to fucking 9.
now you're just
No,
thinking,
yeah.
man, I wish they fucking shot me.
Yeah. Thursdays like the regular 11 to 8. And then Friday, she was already like, I want to go to the rodeo. I need to go to the rodeo. And I was like, I just have Friday and Saturday off. She's like, let's go to the rodeo. I'm like, yeah, let's go to the rodeo. So I do all the adult stuff I need to do. We go visit Eric, get some car things done.
Yeah.
Go to the rodeo. Like, I'm still fucking exhausted. And she's like, she hits me with like, what do you want to do tomorrow? And I just told her, I was like, I'm super tired. I was like, I have not had an actual day off to
I
do
need some
nothing.
me time.
It was pretty much that. I was like, I haven't had a single day to just lay down and relax since that whole thing.
I ain't get 3 days
she-
off in a row, you dick.
And, yeah, she tried. She's like, I'm just tired. I was like, yeah, I know I'm tired. She's like, well, I had to work today. I was like, yeah, I had to work all week. And she stopped. She's like, okay.
And that's when you told her, go get my bath ready. And don't forget the bath bomb.
Yeah.
The
Some salt.
relaxation one.
I think
Lavender.
like after that, she was like, yeah, I guess you can lay around and do nothing. Then we went out. She's like, oh, I want to go out to eat. So we went to go to sushi. And then while we were eating sushi, I was like, man, I'm going to get home and I'm going to start painting. Like, I'm kind of pumped to paint now.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, when we get back, can you put the air filter on my car? And I'm just like,
Were you able to do it?
oh yeah, it was super simple. Like
Yeah,
it
you
was,
just popped it off
What
and
was
it slid
it?
out?
yeah, it just pops off and it just slid right out.
What was that
It was
thing?
angry.
What was the thing?
So it was done and I was painting in no time. So.
Well, Mark, what was that thing you told me when I said, like, you know how to change filters? You're like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You hit her with a. She was like, "Oh, thanks for doing that." And I was like, "Well, you know what they say: if you can't be handsome, be handy."
There you go. Well, this was a very dark
It was a
episode.
dour episode.
Yeah.
But
You know what? There was a lot of laughs, though.
Fuck it. That's what needs to happen every once in a while.
It was- you know, if you have your own dark tale to tell, you could always leave it in the comments.
Got any of your dead dog stories? Please leave them in the comments below.
If you ever played NCIS in your lawn and dug up old puppy graves, let us know in the comments.
A batch.
A batch of puppies. You can go to youtube.com/Grimworks. Go ahead and drop your comments there. And now you can always join our social media. We have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Just search out Grimworks. You'll probably see us. And now you could go and do it the old-fashioned way. Roman, tell them what's the old-fashioned way.
And you want to go to citypod88@gmail.com. Eric, while
Nate.
you're not...
citypod88@gmail.com.
It's doing better than Eric right now.
citypod88@gmail.com.
You just make sure to put, City Podcast in the subject
title.
and title, and Roman will get to it.
As for our YouTube comments, we only have one, very short.
Ooh.
So, keeping it regs with the prune.
Was that on the video or the
This is on the video.
podcast? Oh.
He says, boycott week 2.
Even though we gave you video
I don't know
cast.
what the fuck you want, Prune. Go fuck yourself now. I don't care anymore.
Didn't we have the video?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the thing is, he was like, I want regular podcasts back. I was like, I'll get you.
I was
I forgot how ugly your mustache are.
I was listening / watching the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I saw, I was like, "We're now doing video cast." I was like, "Ooh, I'm glad I missed that day."
It's like, I'm glad I was being shot at.
Thank God for that emotional trauma.
He did have another comment where he goes, Eric and him podcast would be an hour of shit talking.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah,
shit. That's all it was. But no prune text for the comment. Keep them coming.
Grr.
Didn't even do the.
Flush. Fuck you, Prude. You keep saying boycott. I ain't gonna give you the respect.
Because he's a boy who likes to pick cotton.
He's a troll.
Hey, yeah, he is.
And right before we end this
He's our
episode,
troll.
we do want to give a shout out to our sponsor, FakeGrips.store. Make sure to visit them. Tell them all about it, Roman.
That's right. You've been playing a little bit of Monster Hunter. I was asleep snoring, but Tony was playing some Monster Hunter. You know, he needs his joystick grips because his hands get real sweaty and real frustrated when he fails a mission.
Yeah.
He was playing for 45 minutes.
You get fucking dazed and you gotta spin, you gotta turn that butter on the fucking
That's
controllers.
right. So you're going to need some joystick grips. Go ahead and go to FadeGrips.store and use the promotional code for 20% off. Grimworks, that's capital GRIMMWORKS. Again, for 20% off. Grimworks, capital GRIMMWORKS.
It helps them and it helps us continue this crappy podcast. But, you know,
It's good.
it's getting alright.
I like my podcast.
But this has been episode 81 of the City Podcast. I've been your host today, Tony, and I'm here with...
Roman,
And
Your boy Eric.
hate that boy.
Forensic scientist.
there you go. And our special guest of the day was...
Nathan.
So robotic. But like we say at the end of every podcast, bye.